With the 2025 NBA All-Star Game coming to a conclusion, a lot of questions have been raised about how the NBA should move forward with their All-Star format, and we're going to discuss which ways we think is best to move forward. So, Alexander, go ahead.
I'm gonna start off by saying this year's All-Star Game wasn't bad. Just too much commercials, too much intermissions, too much talking, not enough basketball. I think it was probably about 4 hours, and there was probably about an hour total of basketball. Can't have that. It's an All-Star Game. This isn't a talk show. So, future years, if they keep the same format, I wouldn't complain. It's fine. But definitely need more basketball to TV time ratio. Basketball to TV time ratio. And then also, no matter what the format is, it's really up to the players to see if they're actually going to compete like a real game. Because if not, it doesn't matter what format you're going to make it. The guys are just going to goof off. I'd say the competitiveness was a little bit better, especially once it got towards game point. The first 10 points every team scored was just freebies, but other than that, it was pretty good. I didn't watch much of the skills game, but All-Star game wise, it was all right.
I think one of the biggest problems with All-Star Weekend is the dunk contest. I know recently with Mac McClung, it's been on the up and up, but we want to see, everybody wants to see the high flyers and the big time names in the dunk contest. So we're talking about Ja Morant, Zion Williamson, Mac McClung at this point too. Three dunk contest champions, and that would really make it for a high view dunk contest. I didn't like how Chris Paul and Wemby tried to rig the skills competition.
That was hilarious.
That was just stupid.
It was hilarious.
Anyway,
Well, they got what they deserved. They got DQ'd.
Yeah, I don't think they should have got DQ'd. Didn't break any rules.
yeah, but if they wouldn't have DQ'd them, people would just be chucking balls the rest of the time.
I
It'd just be who can get the shot off the fastest. As for the All-Star game, I think going off the pride aspect, I think if you slapped their country on the front of their jersey, I think the pride would open the door real fast and people would play hard because nobody would want to lose for their country. Most of the people.
don't know though, because it's not the Olympics.
I know, but you see it in the four nations. Like these guys, these games don't matter, and these guys are playing harder than ever to win. And I think that would go a long way for the NBA.
Yeah, I agree with Ethan here. I'm gonna go with the country part. I mean, you see golf and NHL. The Ryder Cup and the President's Cup is pretty much golf's All-Star break, and every golf fan or even like non-golf fans just watch it because it's so hyped up. It's so interesting. And every match comes down to the end. And you see that in World Baseball Classic as well. I mean, a lot of people won't watch baseball middle of the year, but World Baseball Classic comes on and everybody's watching. So I think each sport, even football, needs to tune into that and should go with countries. I know, like Alexander said, it's not Olympics, so it's going to be, I think at first it's either going to go really well or really poorly, but at the same time, once people put on their country's colors, it's a lot of them are patriots for each country, and it's hard for them to not want to represent their country well and not win. So I think you got to move with that, and then along with that, you got to put some incentive in, whether it's money or something else, and then on top of that, like Alexander said, it's all up to the players. The players play the game. The players decide pretty much who wins and loses. So they got to just decide whether or not they're going to go all in or not because I get it. It's All-Star Weekend. It's kind of like their week off in the middle of the season, and they don't want to risk injury by going too hard. But at the same time, there's not many on day-to-day basis. There's not all that many injuries in the NBA. There's a few here and there, but I don't really think injuries are what we should be looking out for. And then on top of it, the big names like LeBron James, you can't be sitting out. I get.
And then squatting the next day.
I get you might have some, whatever you want to call it, some injury, but you got to try and put your best foot forward and play. You're the face of the league right now, and that's just a bad example to set. So
Agreed. It would have been nice if LeBron would have told people earlier because we would have got a replacement, like my boy LaMelo Ball.
Yes, because he'd be next in line.
He should be. He got snubbed.
I will say one thing. I didn't mind the format. It's just I don't like when they draft teams because it doesn't feel like a true all-star game. I wish they would go back to, if they're not going to go to countries, they have to go back to conferences. And I just wish that they wouldn't draft players.
They should go back to conference v. conference, and the winner of the All-Star game gets the finals home field advantage.
Yeah, I mean, you see that with baseball. That's how that works. And but I will say that my favorite part of the All-Star game was Mr. Beast and Damian Lillard and
Dame definitely let him
and
win.
whoever they pulled from the crowd. I mean, you can say that all you want, but the guy at the end of the day still has to make a buzzer beater half-court shot in front of
Sure, but
100.
But
Dame was breaking on purpose.
Yeah. We all know if Dame was going up against Steph Curry, he would have hit all three.
I am shocked they didn't get Steph Curry to do it because it's his home stadium, and he's the king of three-pointers in this generation. So I was shocked by that. But that was my favorite part for the All-Star weekend. All right, that is all we have for you guys. Make sure to comment how you think the NBA should go forward with fixing the All-Star weekend as a whole, and particularly the All-Star game. But that's our take, and we'll see you guys next time. Peace.